There's like all these people that keep on making these videos about the hashtag walk away thing where they say, oh, I'm leaving the crazy radical left. You know, they always end up being grifters, right? You look into their history and you find out they were never really left leaning. They were always right leaning. Even if you look at their videos themselves, the reasons they give for leaving the left are very interesting. They'll say things like, the left is in favor of open borders and LGBT shit being taught to children. It's like, what? Were you ever on the left to begin with? And the answer is usually no. It's no. And today we've got a very interesting one to cover because you know how the right loves to virtue signal. For a group of people who use the term virtue signal as a buzzword against the left all the time, they do love when a person from some marginalized group ends up being a reactionary, and they will prop up their career. They will flood them with views. How much does this have? Well, not so many, but it's newer. Somebody just in my chat sent it to me. So this person's probably trying to get on the grift, but this one is called hashtag walk away, why I left the left. As you can see, she's a black woman. Just need to get that out right in front of the train, okay? I don't know if you guys can tell. And she's going to explain why she left the left. How much do you want to bet that a lot of what she's going to say is going to be shitting on BLM and saying that any white left-leaning person that criticizes her is the real racist? I imagine quite a few.
Hello, everyone.
That is very quiet. That is very, very quiet. Even I can recognize how quiet that is.
My name is Bloom. And I'm here today because I wanted to be open about my walkaway experience. If you hear anything in the background, it's my little baby, my dog, Alchemy. So,
oh God, she is a legit weeb.
Where to even begin? I feel like there's so many.
All right, this is a 17-minute video. We're gonna speed it up just a little bit, just a little bit,
Layers that go with this. There's so many. There's so many things that are involved with where I am today, how I feel, my political views, and different things like that.
Hey, Cezanne, I can't blow rings.
I would say that fear kept me from really being vocal.
Fear?
About how I feel.
What are you afraid of?
About,
what are you afraid of?
Politics, and just various things, because today, it seems like when you don't agree with the major narratives that are going around.
She was scared to come out with her real political opinions of being a right-winger because if you go against the narrative, then you'll be attacked. Guess what? It doesn't matter what narrative you go against. You're going to get fucking attacked. I promise you, I get way more shit from the right. Well, and the left, to be completely honest. But actually, I get more shit from the left than the right, believe it or not. Like unironically, I get attacked more by left-leaning people than I do from right-wing people. It's crazy. Regardless of that, though, I get shit from the right and the left. And I'm left-leaning. I have the opinions that you're afraid to, or that you are pretending to have, I guess, because you were afraid to express your real opinions. Guess what? You're going to get shit from either side, whatever your side you're on, okay? The left does not have a fucking monopoly on attacking those that disagree with them politically, okay? It's not how it works.
It seems that you get attacked for what you believe. And so it took me a while.
Welcome to the internet.
Because the fear of rejection, the fear of people not wanting to be my friend anymore, the fear of people having something to say about what I'm doing. But I decided to push past that and to be vocal about what I believe. So this journey has been a long
Come on, let's get right to it, all right? I'm turning up the 1.5.
It's been a very spiritual journey for me. And
oh, God.
That is really what started this. It's been a domino effect. It's just been one thing after another that has really got me to where I am today with this journey.
Come on.
So for my spiritual journey, it started with my spiritual teachers. And they teach a lot about you having the power and you not having to be a victim to any circumstance, to anything. And you are sovereign.
Oh
And
my God.
you have
Is she actually going to say that the leftist victim mentality of, acknowledging things like systemic racism and the injustices of our system and things like capitalism and whatnot, that's a victim mentality, but actually you are your own person. Well, actually, you're your own person. You are not victim to anything, okay? Any mistakes that you make are all your own. I'm sorry, but reality check, we do not live in a meritocracy, okay? Millionaires and billionaires aren't millionaires and billionaires because they worked hard. They're millionaires and billionaires overwhelmingly because they either inherited the wealth or they had a set of opportunities that many others don't have that allowed them to work their way to that position, which, does require hard work, but they probably don't deserve to be a millionaire or a billionaire. On top of that, there are a lot of people, most people, who don't have that privilege, who didn't have that starting point that allowed them to get to that, more prosperous area, For example, the vast majority of black people in America, basically. When you have an entire population of people that have been held down historically from slavery to Jim Crow to redlining to the prison system to policing to the way that they can't get access to good schools because if you live in a shitty area and your school is funded by property taxes, then you can't really get a good school because they don't have good teachers and they don't have good textbooks or the technology to properly teach students, which means they can't get good enough grades to go to college and work their way up in the world. So then the cycle continues because those people end up being poor and then their kids end up being poor and then their kids end up being poor until you have a few outliers like somebody who ends up becoming a good rapper because they get a lot of opportunities and they happen to be really talented, or they end up getting into some sports, or they end up working really, really hard despite all the odds being against them. The exception does not disprove the rule, and end up getting into a good college. It happens, but for the most part, generally, you are a subject to the environment in which you grow up.
complete power over your mind. You have dominion over yourself, over your spirit. And that really stuck with me. They also talked about, there's no heroes, no villains. There's no you versus them. And that really stuck with me.
What?
Because that has been...
Is this going to get way too pseudoscientific? I feel like this is going to, it's going to go from we're not even going to hear any arguments in this. It's just going to be I realized in my chakras that the gods of fucking Cthulhu and N'Zoth spoke to me in my dreams and told me that actually the right is the right way to go. Donald Trump needs to be president. Biden is actually evil. And also we need to sink the entire planet under the ocean. Climate change. Actually, believe it or not, N'Zoth would want climate change to happen because then the world would flood because of climate change and the ice caps melting. And so it would be easier for his forces to spread to land if all the coastal areas were underwater. It's true. N'Zoth would vote for Trump. N'Zoth would push climate change denial. It's actually true. Anyone who doesn't get that reference in my chat's a fucking liberal.
It's such a big part of my identity, especially being a African-American woman. But especially being an African-American woman, my identity was very enmeshed with a lot of us versus them. And so I started to begin...
Listen, I'm going to get right in front of the train on this one, okay? Right now. Guys, listen. There is a lot of what you could probably call groupthink in the black community. A bit of an us versus you narrative in regards to white people are all the aggressor. All white people are to some degree bad. It's true. It's actually true. There is a small degree to that. Now, is it steeped in some amount of truth? Absolutely. There is some truth to it. But there is a lot of hotepi kind of beliefs in the black community, even among ultra progressive black people. But I don't think that you can reasonably use this as an excuse to argue against the existence of things like systemic racism, okay? The real way that we fight these issues like systemic racism and what have you is to work together, okay? White people, Hispanic people, Asian people, basically all white and non-white people need to work together in a multicultural movement to fight against systemic injustices. That's how it needs to go. Now, is there some us versus them thought in these groups? Absolutely. But fight against the us versus them thought and agree with the actual positive things that they're fighting for. That's how you do that. You don't just become a right-winger because you disagree with one aspect of these groups or of these movements.
To see the distortions in my own thinking, I started stepping out of that paradigm and started just seeing myself as a being and not a Black female. So that was, I would say, one of the first awakenings.
Oh God, she's a turf, isn't she?
To this, to walking away.
So I'm sorry to tell you this, but guess what? The system doesn't care if you just see yourself as being a being rather than a Black female. The system sees you as a Black female. If a cop decides to pull you over because you have a broken headlight or tail light, and a blonde white girl might have just gotten a warning, you'll probably get a ticket. The cop doesn't fucking care, unfortunately. Now, I strive for a world in which the cop doesn't care at all, in the sense that you would have completely equal treatment among the, among, like, well, we wouldn't have cops, but enforcers of some level of justice and order, which would probably be some kind of community policing. I feel like I have to be really careful whenever I talk about things like this, because you have the goddamn tankies constantly hovering over my streams like, say something, Libby. Say something even somewhat liberal. We're going to clip it and put it on Twitter. Shut the fuck up, okay? Listen. The systems in which we live that disproportionately harm Black people, maybe not even actively because of racism, but just because of bias or because of socioeconomic factors, and, Black people tend to have a worse socioeconomic situation than white people, don't care how you see yourself at all. That's the problem. You have to acknowledge that while you can be your own person, have your own ideas and your own identity and everything, you can acknowledge that, but also acknowledge that due to the demographic with which you are a part of, you are going to face certain issues, certain oppression that others will not. Material reality does exist. It's true.
So then my best friend, she had sent me a Candace Owens video. I never heard of her, never knew this. Never heard this
God.
ever.
Hey guys, I'm going to listen. Listen, I'm not going super hard on new philosophy. Okay, cool. I'm not going to go super hard on her because I don't feel like she's as malicious as many people are. But in case you're not aware of Candace Owens' past, Candace Owens has always been a grifter. She has. Candace Owens doesn't believe what she says. I feel very confident in this. Do you guys know what Candace Owens' old grift used to be? She used to be a hardcore SJW. It's true. Back in the day, she used to make very, very progressive, like really like almost like anti-white super SJW content, and then she got a ton of shit for it. So she made a website, a doxing website that would be designed to dox right-leaning people online that would bully her or go after right-leaning figures or go after left-leaning figures. She made a doxing website that she was shit on by both the left and the right for. It was going to be a place where if somebody bullies you online, you can just look up their address and their full name and everything and their phone number and where they work and everything like that. That was what she was putting together. She used to be a hardcore, unironic SJW, like the picture perfect definition of what like a Gamergate era SJW looked like, literally. But she got a ton of shit from everybody for it. And eventually she started adapting her public positions to be more in line with that of the right. And she started making more money from it. She started making a lot of money for it. She became a massive public figure. And from there, got to where she is today. And now she's basically made a career, a very profitable career at that, off of basically if there's any progressive movement going on, especially if it's like pro-Black liberation of any kind, she goes against that movement because she knows she'll make a ton of money. And she has spoken in government because of this. She has her hands in the government now because of this, when literally only a few years ago, she was the biggest SJW you could imagine, and she changed her opinions overnight. There's also been evidence that has come out suggesting that she genuinely doesn't believe what she believes. It's true. That she's like a genuine, full-on, 100% by definition grifter who is still left-leaning in her own personal beliefs, but is just doing this for money. There is an insane amount of evidence for it. So, in case you weren't aware of that, new philosophy.
Sent me a video, and I was hooked after that. I was like, who is this woman? Like, she is unapologetic about what she believes. It's like, I mean, how can you not respect her? Because she's going to say how she feels regardless of what.
The thing is, it's not how she actually feels. Here, I'll go way more into this, okay? Hold on. Candace Owens doxing website. Yeah, from news1.com. Every receipt... Can we not? Can we not? Every receipt proving Candace Owens is a con artist who is following the money. We have the receipts from September 7th, 2020. Very recent, in fact. Fresh off being snubbed by Republicans, the party with, we'll just go down to like the actual receipts. Lawsuit with the NAACP. Owens now calls the NAACP one of the worst groups for black people, even though the organization helped her win a racial discrimination lawsuit. In 2007, she accused some white boys of radically harassing and threatening to kill her. Owens claimed the boys were the son of then Stamford Mayor Dannel Malloy, Connecticut's former governor. Because of the NAACP, Owens' family received settlements of $37,000 from Stamford Public Schools, so they helped her win a lawsuit. Scott X. Esdale, the Connecticut NAACP president who helped Owens with her lawsuit, was shocked to hear she had become a conservative. Esdale told Mike, "We're very saddened and disappointed in her. It seems to me that she's now trying to play to a different type of demographic." So the people who were like close to her and helped her win that lawsuit were like, oh yeah, she's grifting. 100% she's grifting. He also said it's the same type of thing Clarence Thomas did. Thomas reaped all the benefits of affirmative action and then tried to roll over on it. It's that kind of mentality and disrespect. So literally just profiting off of whatever they can, like just a money-grubbing piece of shit. Anti-Trump website. In May of 2018, BuzzFeed reported that Candace Owens was the CEO of an anti-Trump liberal-leaning website called Degree 180. Ironic considering she changed all of her opinions. She just went 180 on all of her opinions. Owens wrote in 2015 that it was good news that the Republican Tea Party will eventually die off peacefully in their sleep, we hope. But Degree 180 also talked about Trump's penis size and him being a racist with an immigrant wife. The site reportedly shut down by the end of 2016, and Owens magically came out as a conservative on YouTube a few months later. So, yeah, her website shut down because it was fucking failing. Back in 2016 and before, there was no market for left-leaning content, really. Right-leaning stuff was what was really popular. So it just happened that after her website she was the CEO, the left-leaning website she was the CEO of, shut down a couple months later, she made her big video saying, "I'm actually on the right now." Interesting. Fox News. In March of 2018, Owens was slithering into TV stations and finally made it to Fox News. She spit out a line that went viral and made her a darling of pseudo-conservatives. Owens said that the National Rifle Association was founded as a civil rights organization that protected black people from the KKK. Even the Fox News host said, "I've never heard that before. That's so interesting." She never heard it before either because it was a lie. That is true, actually. The only time Republicans and the NRA ever tried to like crack down on gun ownership was when black people were using guns back in the 60s with the Black Panthers. They would peacefully protest, but would use their Second Amendment right to hold guns out in front of like courthouses and shit like that as a form of protest. And that is the only time when the NRA and conservatives have cracked down on gun ownership. And it is when black people rightly use their Second Amendment rights to have guns when it came to the Black Panthers and stuff like that. PolitiFact confirms she lied or is just willfully ignorant. According to the NRA's own website, dismayed by the lack of marksmanship shown by their troops, Union veterans Cole Williams C. Church and General George Wingate formed the National Rifle Association in 1871. The primary goal of the association would be to promote and encourage rifle shooting on a scientific basis, according to a magazine editorial written by Church. However, her fraudulent comment made her a media darling, so she just outright lied. There is no evidence whatsoever that's what the NRA was for. Another lawsuit. Back in January of this year, Owens attacked New York Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez for being fiscally irresponsible because a newly elected congresswoman couldn't afford an apartment in Washington, D.C. However, reporter Nathan also, wow, imagine suing, or not suing, but attacking a congresswoman because she couldn't afford an apartment in Washington, D.C. Wow. Damn. Fuck. Poor people, I guess. However, reporter Nathan Bernard exposed Owens by posting a lawsuit that showed she rented a $3,500 apartment, lived there for 6 months rent-free, then claimed she'd gotten toxic mold sickness and threatened to sue her landlord to avoid paying rent. Now, based, but also not based if you're a total fucking hypocrite. And here are all the court docs as well. Here's the tweet of her criticizing AOC. At the age of 30, AOC was so fiscally irresponsible that she hadn't saved up enough money to rent an apartment in Washington, D.C. area. But sure, let's trust her with the future. Fiscal planning of America. # socialism sucks. And then here are the court docs from her suing her landlord after living there for 6 months rent-free, and then suing her landlord for claiming that she got some kind of mold poisoning, which, possibly happened. And this on its own, this based as fuck, cool, but not if you're a hypocritical piece of shit. She allegedly stopped paying rent in September 2016 and was evicted in January of 2017, which coincides with her coming out as a conservative only months later. As for the mold claims, a legal analyst told Bernard Media, the obvious question is if the place was so unlivable, why did she stay there for 6 months, even rent-free? Why not get out of there, especially if you can afford an apartment for $3,500? It's not difficult to identify a toxic mold infestation either. If you started to exhibit symptoms that seemed related to the infestation, why not notify a doctor immediately? Also, why sue a year later after moving out? There are a lot of questions that rise on first glance at this case. She's going to have a huge burden of proof at that trial. Social Autopsy. Social Autopsy was the doxing website she made. In spring of 2016, Owens launched an anti-cyberbullying website called Social Autopsy. She reportedly started a Kickstarter campaign to raise $75,000 for it. She sure likes money she doesn't have to work for. CTpost.com described the site as a searchable database of offensive speech found on social media. Owens wanted to expose people who anonymously harassed others online, which is known as doxing and is a huge no-no among conservatives or just people online in general. She claimed she got pushback from the left, which was allegedly one of the sparks that lit her conservative fire. She got way more shit from the right than she did the left. But she got shit from both sides, okay? She got shit from a lot of people because she was building a fucking doxing website. So if someone said something mean to you online, you could just go up, just look up their full name and address and everything. Just all cool. She got shit from everybody for that. However, Quillette reported it was the right who attacked her. Even Quillette, a far-right media outlet, reported that she was the one, the right was the one attacking her, not the left, like she claimed. While Owens portrays herself as a victim of leftist persecution, the fact is that the initial backlash against Social Autopsy came mostly from the cultural liberation opposition to the authoritarian left. YouTube video bloggers Matt Jarbo, Mundane Matt, and Chris Maldonado, or Chris Reagan. I can never pronounce Chris Reagan's full name, I'm sorry. Maldonado. Both strong critics of social justice warriors were among the first to blast the project as a terrible idea. Another early negative report came from none other than Breitbart. It was written by Alum Bukhari, a frequent co-author of the not yet disgraced Milo Yiannopoulos, not back then, and a leading foe of the SJW left in digital and tech culture, the site wrote. This would make sense because it is clearly people on the right or MAGA crazies who don't want to be exposed for their hatred. You can hear Owens doing the voiceover for the Social Autopsy video below. You guys want to hear?
The human race has.
Hey guys, you want to hear? This is just becoming a Candace Owens like debunking video. Fuck it, that's what this video will be. This will be about Candace Owens being a grifting piece of shit who has brainwashed people like this who don't know much about politics into becoming right-wing grifters themselves, or at the very least being tricked. So let's go ahead and take a look. You guys want to hear Candace Owens being a literal SJW? Here we go. Prepare yourselves.
The human race has never been more connected. It takes a nanosecond, a mere push of a button, to share our ideas, opinions, and emotions across the world instantly. But for every cat meme your best friend tweets at you, or for every "I miss you" comment your grandma leaves on your Facebook wall, there are literally thousands of instances of hate speech being circulated online.
Hate speech.
Because when communication happens through a screen, and when moments are experienced through a lens, a terrifying extraction takes place. The age of technology and social media has slowly disintegrated individual accountability, the consequences of which are devastating.
Rebecca Sedgwick, the sixth grader, committed suicide last week. Authorities say she suffered nearly a year of cyberbullying.
Two girls charged with using Facebook to taunt and bully their 12-year-old schoolmate until she killed herself.
They say weeks of constant bullying cost
Nice,
him
my
his
right
life.
headphones
We are
doing
fostering a society of online bullying, social tormenting, and irresponsible sharing. With the ability to privatize social profiles and use pseudonyms in place of real names, it has been a free-for-all. That is, until now.
This music's a bop, though.
Introducing Social Autopsy, the first ever search database that compiles and allows the public to easily access the digital footprint of individuals and companies. Our team has crawled through the public interfaces of Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, creating real profiles for the individuals that lob hate speech over the web.
Wait, isn't that Emma Watson? I guess that's like someone pretending to be. I don't know.
Profiles
That's
for the
Emma Watson.
individuals that lob hate speech over the web. These individuals are your teachers, doctors, neighbors, and business owners, and for the first time ever, you'll be given the chance to run a real background check on them to see what these people represent behind closed doors. Let me show you how it works. Plug in the name of any person, company, or organization. Our database will return any number of profiles.
Oh, they're all Emma Watson.
Which can then be narrowed.
Wait, everybody on Earth is Emma Watson. I assume this is like a beta or alpha build of the site or something. But why did they use a picture of Emma Watson? Emma Watson was never hot? Nuts, I'm going to need you to just stop. Stop. Just cease, please. Just stop. You need to cease. Reminder that Emma Watson is a feminist and British, but not a TERF. You know, Emma Watson disavowed J.K. Rowling's TERF shit, right? It's true. Emma Watson's pretty fucking pog.
Down by city and state. When you've located a user, you will be brought to their autopsy report, which will consist of real screenshots of words that they have shared across social media platforms.
This is literally a website dedicated to unironic cancel culture. You can literally, like, this would be for, like, if an employer wanted to, an employer wanted to look up one of their workers to see what they say online, easily find any, like, cringy, like, joke they made back in 2007, or if anybody wants to do it. Like, this is not only a doxing website, but the perfect tool to facilitate unironic cancel culture. And this was, and she was the CEO of this website, or at least, like, she was the CEO of, this is from Degree 180. She was the CEO of this, of both Degree 180 and Social Autopsy. This was her old grift. This is her old thing. She's talking about hate speech and fucking doxing right-wing people who say hate speech online. Holy shit. This was from 2016, right? When was this? 2016. Look at that. Not that long ago. Really, really not that long ago, just before it became super profitable to become a right-winger.
Want to keep up to date to see if a particular profile has been added to? You can choose to follow an individual or company autopsy report privately to receive automatic email notifications when there has been any movement to that particular profile. Have someone that you'd like to add to our morgue? Submit them.
Jesus
Our database
Christ.
is continually...
And the wording is so fucking, like, they're the wording they use is like the most cancel culture-y, right? It's like, you got canceled so hard, you fucking died. You're getting an autopsy. You're in the fucking morgue now. Like, they're not even using, like, the soft language. Like, they're going hard with that shit.
grown by anonymous submissions from individuals like you. Because why engage in an online back-forth argument with friends over insulting statuses and comments when you can instead screenshot their harsh words and privately submit them to our database? Our team will review each and every submission and make it live if it meets our guidelines for harmful speech.
Wow, harmful speech.
And don't worry, we do not allow any commenting or labeling on our website because we do not want to play home to any bullying ourselves.
Ah, yeah.
We exist
Gotta shut down people's free speech, huh, Candace?
as a clean archive of an individual's words only, from which employers, friends, and universities alike may draw their own conclusions.
Nice. Yeah, so that's a pretty fucking damning bit of evidence there. Then there's Blexit. Her term Blexit, which got her embarrassed by Kanye West, who implied she used him, is a slogan that was stolen from the Bank Black movement. Listen to the actual founder of Blexit, Malay Connolly, explaining how Candace stole her slogan.
Is there a lawsuit that you can file? Did you have this trademarked? Is there any kind of that can be remotely punished for co-opting and taking an important slogan and movement?
Oh God, that went up my nose.
Yeah, as you know, we, like I mentioned earlier, we were a decentralized movement. We were proud of that. We weren't, edging towards trademarking or anything like that. But because of this, and because of the fact that Candace had filed for a trademark for Blexit back in August, we've had to start to, take legal action. And so we've served her with a cease and desist as of this morning, and we are prepared to take legal action if she doesn't honor that. It's really unfortunate that it has to go in that direction, but there's too much at stake at this point to allow a movement so important to just be co-opted for political stunts.
Is there a lawsuit that you can file?
Oh, and that's replaying. Yeah, so she basically stole what appears to be a left-leaning figure's term, Blexit, and tried to copyright it, and then got sent to cease and desist. Don't know how that went. In addition, Owens' Blexit site is packed with historical inaccuracies. Historian Kevin Cruz broke this down for her on Twitter, and he was blocked. The thread is an excellent read, packed with facts. Based. Within only a few years, Owens has two failed internet projects, didn't pay rent, and then somehow became a conservative, landing a job at Turning Point USA. She is now known for outlandish language. She said Hitler only wanted to make Germany great again, and that she said that things got bad, and he decided to implement his desires outside of Germany. After the horrific mail bombs sent to Democrats back in October, she tweeted, then deleted, "I'm going to go ahead and state that there is a 0% chance that these suspicious packages were sent out by conservatives. The only thing suspicious about these packages is their timing. Caravans, fake bomb threats, these leftists are going all out for midterms. There are true conservatives out there who have been involved in politics for years, but Owens does not appear to be one of them. She is clearly in this for fame, attention, and is following the money." So this is basically what I want to get down to, and I wasn't going to go into all of this. I was going to cover it. I was going to do an entire different video on it, Candace Owens covering all this shit on its own thing. But I decided, since she brought up Candace Owens, we might as well get into it. And that's more or less where I'm going to wrap things up. I don't think there's any need to watch the rest of her video because she's just going to repeat Candace Owens' talking points now. We all know that's what she's going to do, and we've covered Candace Owens plenty of times in this channel. But I say that's pretty damn good receipts for the fact that Candace Owens is a shameless grifter who is following the money, and in doing so is filling the minds of people that follow her. Most of her audience are white people that want to hear a black person say that actually there is no oppression and black people are just doing badly because black people bad. And actually white people are the ones that are oppressed. She said that kind of shit before. And it's people like this, cringy, ironically weeaboo, astrology, new age, psychic people that are getting punked into this kind of shit as well. Yeah, this is really bad. We've got a legitimate grifter who is filling the heads of people in their fucking Facebook groups with literal lies. And I feel like it's my responsibility to platform the evidence supporting the fact that Candace Owens is a grifter to show that she does not believe a word she's saying and she lies on a regular fucking basis. Anyway. If you enjoyed this video, wait, Candace Owens is just there to give out the N-word passes? True. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and ring that bell icon because you only get notified when I go live or when I upload a video if you have the bell icon rung. YouTube is full of fucking shit. No idea why they don't just automatically tell you when someone is live if they subscribe, but you know how it is. YouTube, full of shit. They're really bad. Leave a comment if you enjoyed the video or want to give me some advice. The commenting also helps with the algorithm and getting the video around and helping the channel. On top of that, there is a link in the description to my Discord server. Join it. We got a good community going on there. Over 5,000 members as of the making of this video. And yeah, I would really appreciate your support. You can also come to the website, xanderhall.com/live, and you can financially support me there or on Patreon if you like. And yeah, I appreciate it a lot. Thank you for watching.